80 people will have to find a new place to stay after this fire here in Danbury last night. I'm Glenn Kittle. We'll bring you the latest information on what we know so far coming up on Fox 61.
Good morning and happy Friday. Thanks so much for starting off your day with us here at Fox 61 America Areas. We have a lot to talk about as we head into the weekend. We are checking in with Matt Scott. Got some good news for us on this Friday morning, right?
Did you
Matt?
like yesterday?
I did.
Then why mess with it? We just leave it just
Perfect.
the way it was, okay? All right, let's do traffic. No, I guess I can talk a little more about this. Good morning to you. They pay me by the word, you know. 6 o'clock on this Friday morning, no changes. That's a good thing. We love. Yesterday was just perfect. Top 10 day. We're going to do it again. High sunshine, low humidity. The weekend forecast looking just as good. We'll talk about that coming up. Cloud and radar picture is just fine. Broadening the view across the land. I don't see anything. You see any trouble? I don't see any trouble. Temperatures 55 degrees in the capital. Hey, New Haven, there you are, 57 degrees. You were kind of missing in action last hour. Chester, Groton at 57 as well. We top out with our lucky 61 in Bridgeport, but look at the dew point, still awfully low, awfully comfortable, and that's why we have such a fantastic forecast ahead. All right, here's the call for today. Temperatures getting into the lower 80s, just a smidge warmer than yesterday, but also just a smidge lower than where we should be. By the way, smidge, not an actual meteorological term. Low sunshine on tap. Next couple of days, 83, 83, 84. Heading into the weekend on a good groove. With really very little to worry about, not just here, but across much of the country. You know what? We can all use a break, right? So we'll take a couple of days off in the weather. We'll talk about some rain that is on the approach when it gets here. That's a look at the 7-day. We'll do that for you coming up in about 13 minutes. But let's do some traffic right now. First, Erica, take the reins.
All right. Well, of course, we're hoping for the best, especially on a Friday. Just a little check on the traffic flow map. Nothing major construction about to wrap up as we head outside and check out the view of West Hartford. That's looking really nice for your Friday if you're heading through there. Not a lot of cars on the roads yet. And we've got some drive times for you. We are seeing this. We like green. We have got it. In and out of Hartford, the capital city, you're looking great. Just 6 minutes from East Hartford all the way to downtown on 84 West. As we pop outside, checking out Cromwell. Nice and sunny. Looking good there at 6:02. And then we've got some New Haven drive times for you. Like this, in and out of the Elm City, no issues at all. You are really cruising there on 95 South, New Haven to Bridgeport, just 20 minutes. And then Fairfield County, just a little bit of a slowdown there on 95 South, but nothing much to talk about really, which is what we like to see. Hopefully it stays that way, especially for a Friday. If you're heading out right now, have a great day and stay safe out there. Well, meantime, at 6:03, dozens of people are without a place to stay now after a massive fire tore through an apartment building. This happened in Danbury. Now, 6 people, including 3 firefighters, were taken to the hospital. Crews had to make multiple dramatic rescues as the fire spread really quickly. Fox 61's Glenn Kittle is joining us live from the Ashwood Valley Apartments. Glenn, what's the latest there? Such devastation.
Good morning, Erica. We're getting our first look here at the damage done to this building as of this morning. To step out of the way and take a look at what we got going on here, you can see this fire absolutely tore through what looks like to be the 3 floors of this corner of the building and obviously took out a lot more of the actual structure behind it here. But you can just see through the walls right here, as well as some of the damage done to the lower apartments down there. Can't really see with some of the bushes in the way. However, just to give you a picture of just how massive this fire was and the damage that it did to this building, this took out a lot of the structure on this corner. However, 80 people now have to find a new place to stay because of this. Firefighters say this was an intense, fast-moving fire that not only forced dozens of people from their homes, but also created dangerous conditions for crews trying to get inside the building. Now, we're going to show you some video and some pictures from yesterday when our crews got here. Firefighters were called to this Ashwood Valley apartment just after 4 o'clock on Thursday with several 911 calls reporting a fire. One of the most dramatic moments came when crews used a ground ladder to rescue a man trapped on his balcony as thick smoke filled his apartment. He was evaluated by EMS and taken to Danbury Hospital. Meanwhile, firefighters also rescued a dog from the building, which was taken to a vet for treatment. In all, 3 residents and 3 firefighters were transported to the hospital. 2 of those firefighters were bitten by cats that they rescued from the building, with those bites going through their protective gear. We spoke to some neighbors yesterday who were startled at the scenes that unfolded at the Ashwood Valley Apartments last night.
It was shocking. I pull up, I see the fire trucks. I'm like, okay, is something going on at the clubhouse? Is it a drill? What's going on? And then as I walk closer, I see the whole roof of the building missing. There's firefighters, fire trucks everywhere. It's just chaos. And it's just unbelievable. It's not something you expect to come home to at all.
Honestly, it's really scary, working and just hearing these alarms go off and our neighbors telling there's a huge fire outside, and, me thinking, okay, it's going to hit my building most likely. And, my first instinct is like, okay, how am I going to protect myself? Because, fire's dangerous and stuff like that.
About 60 firefighters and support personnel from Danbury, Brookfield, and Stony Hill responded to that scene. The fire department says crews faced another major challenge when a 3-floor pancake collapse occurred on the back side of this building just before firefighters were set to go inside. Crews were able to keep that fire from spreading and had it under control by just after 6 o'clock yesterday evening. Now, the cause of the fire is still under investigation by the Danbury Fire Marshal's office. We're going to be sure to bring you the latest out of Danbury as soon as we hear from it, including what might have caused that fire. But for right now, live in Danbury, Glenn Kittle, Fox 61.
All right, Glenn, thanks for the update there. Yeah, I feel for those folks who pretty much lost everything. Tough loss. Well, meantime, we do have some breaking news at 6:06 from overnight. A series of explosions were heard near a military base housing U.S. forces in northern Iraq. Now, this comes just hours after the U.S. military finished its 13th straight night of strikes on Iran. Central Command says that the strikes targeted command centers, drone storage, and maritime capabilities to diminish threats to commercial ships in the Strait of Hormuz. And this, of course, comes as President Trump says he's not yet ready to negotiate a new ceasefire with Iran.
We're doing very well against the Islamic Republic of Iran. We're doing extremely well. They would like to do something, but I say they're not ready yet. They need more of the same. They're not ready yet. They got some evil intentions.
This renewed strike began more than a week ago after Iran started attacking ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Since then, the U.S. has battered targets all across Iran and imposed a naval blockade. Well, the debate over the future of the state's car tax is remaining in the spotlight this campaign season, especially in the race for governor, where each candidate has talked about the tax. But this morning, we're hearing on what some taxpayers think about the car tax and how it really affects their finances. Fox 61's Celine Arif has their message.
Many people are tired of seeing this bill in the mail, and while some people disagree on how and where their taxes go, many do agree that getting rid of it would be a huge relief. Older cars, newer cars, and different makes and models. No matter what you drive, you'll get a bill for it.
This is probably my second or third year paying it this year.
Ryan Clark drives a 2015 Lincoln, and that sets him back about $300 each year in property taxes. The total depends on two main things: your car's assessed value and the mill rate in your town or city.
I'm sure no one's going to love being taxed on anything. I just kind of know it is what it is. We have to pay it as citizens. I do think it's a little bit high, especially considering I'm in college, so I don't have a ton of time to just work all these jobs and get all this money.
Between 169 towns and cities, the rate could be anywhere from nearly 70 mills in Hartford to about 11 in Washington. The rate is the property tax you pay for every $1,000 of your car's assessed value.
I think they should charge every place the same, but yeah, I heard that probably in other places they charge you more. Even more than West Hartford. Johnny
Agrita makes a point that a lot of people argue. That's why 10 years ago, the state started to cap the motor vehicle mill rate. Right now, it's around 32.5, but it's changed over the years. Still, some people say even with the cap, they're paying too much.
If it's something to get the car tax down or possibly gone in general and make our lives a little bit easier for everyone, I'm never against that.
The tax revenue is used for community services like public schools, fire departments, and road maintenance. Some people like Agrita argue for how much we're paying into the car tax. The money should go a lot further to maintain public spaces.
They can fix some lights or stop signs or the road because there's a lot of holes.
And no matter your thoughts on where the funds go, not paying the bill comes with consequences. Municipalities can ask the DMV to place a hold or stop on future vehicle registrations if you're behind on payments. And if you haven't paid your bill yet, you've still got time. State law requires a 30-day grace period, pushing the deadline to early August, but it's a good idea to check with your town or city for more information. In West Hartford, Celine Arif, Fox 61.
Well, Connecticut's smaller towns are getting a big boost with millions of dollars going toward rural road and safety projects. One of those projects is in Higganum, where a new walking path could change how people get around. Fox 61's Priscilla Meza shows us what it looks like.
The state is putting nearly $10 million into rural transportation projects, and Higganum is receiving more than $800,000 that will go towards pedestrian improvements along Route 154 in the Higganum section of town.
I think it's definitely one of the more useful things that it could be used for, so I think it's good. I do, yeah.
The project will create about 3/4 of a mile of sidewalk and multi-use trail, connecting senior housing, town offices, and local businesses in Higganum. But this is just one of several projects across the state, including bridge replacements in Canaan and Scotland, roadway and drainage improvements in Chaplin, Kent, and North Canaan, and safety and access upgrades in Marlborough, Preston, and Washington. State leaders say it's about making sure smaller towns aren't left behind. Governor Ned Lamont stating in part what makes Connecticut special is as much about our small towns as it is our cities. For people who live and work here, safety is top of mind.
I definitely think more sidewalks would be helpful just because bikers and people like that, it's just kind of dangerous when everyone's trying to, go on the road and they have to swerve around them a little bit. I think more sidewalks would definitely make it a lot better.
And in Higganum, people say walkability is something the community has been missing.
Population that we have here, safer walking is always a great option. There's not that many pedestrian-friendly areas.
The new path is expected to connect parts of the town that are currently hard to access on foot, opening the door for more people to walk, bike, and spend time outside.
And with more accessible routes, I believe we're going to see more people outside enjoying the outdoors.
State officials say since this program started in 2022, about $30 million has been invested into rural projects like this one. In Higganum, Priscilla Meza, Fox 61.
6:12 coming up next here on Fox 61. A popular over-the-counter allergy medication is being recalled. We'll have more on the possible contamination that has health officials urging people to check their medicine cabinets.